Hey there, how's it going? My name is Keegan Kirk. I do tarot readings here on YouTube. If you are new here, it's nice to meet you. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. I hope that you get lots of guidance and insight from whatever comes out in the reading today. I do want to talk to you guys just really quickly about a couple of things. It's not going to take long. Please don't skip ahead. There's not going to be a mid-roll ad, so please just bear with me as I talk to you about this. It'll mean a lot to me if you don't skip ahead. First thing I want to talk to you guys about are personal readings for February. I'm still offering special prices for my recorded readings. So that's 30 minutes for $45, 60 minutes for $75. You send me your questions in advance. I record your reading and I send it to you. I'm also starting something brand new. I've never offered this before. For the entire time that I've been on YouTube, it's probably the most requested thing from people. And I've not done it until now. But starting in February, I'm going to do live one-on-one sessions, which means you will have a specific day and time that you and I connect one-on-one live. You can ask me whatever you want. I'll pull cards. We can talk about things. If you want me to look more deeply into something, if you want me to change directions, if you have specific things that come through that you want me to explore, you'll have full control over that session. That'll be a 60-minute session with me. It's priced at $150. If you are interested in doing a reading with me, all you have to do is send an email to keegantarot@gmail.com to book that reading. And I look forward to hearing from those of you who want to do personal readings with me in February. I'm super excited to see who takes advantage of the live sessions because I know lots of you have asked me to do those. For the February general reading spread, I'm going to be taking a look at areas where you might need to deal with some blocks. So we're going to take a look at the most urgent need, then we'll look at spiritual, emotional, and mental blocks, and then we'll take a look at any unseen factors that you might not even be aware of. So that's for the general reading, the one that you're watching now. Now I will be doing an extended reading for channel members, and in that reading, I'm actually just going to use oracle cards and a few tarot decks to get messages through from your spirit guides, your ancestors, and your higher self pertaining to the blocks and the information that comes out in the general reading. Now, I've had lots of people ask me how to become a channel member because YouTube makes it a little bit complicated. So I just want to walk you guys through that really quickly. So if you go to YouTube and you search for my channel, if you click on a PC on my channel, the easiest way to join is to click that join button. It's going to bring up this that you see. You can click join. It takes you through the entire process. It's much more complicated to do on your phone. Now, I will put a link in the description box below that will also allow you to take a look, to click through, to try on your phone. But I'm just telling you, it's so much easier if you can do it from a web browser or use a browser on your phone to sign up. Thank you so much for bearing with me as I walked you through those things. We are going to go ahead and go right into the general reading now. I've put up a reminder here for you so you can just have a reminder of what the spread is. I will walk you through that as we explore the cards. Hey there, Scorpio. It's Keegan. Welcome to your reading for February 1st through the 15th, 2021. As you can see, I've already put cards down for you. And the reason for that is because I used 5 different decks, and shuffling between each of those 5 decks would have just added so much dead time to the video. So this is your spread. I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to start here in the middle. These are the cards representing your most urgent need. You have the 6 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, and the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is reversed here. I'll just show you these 3 cards. So let's talk about this in terms of the, an urgent need that's coming through here. So clearly with this 10 of Swords, there was something that has occurred that you're trying to figure out how to deal with, how to sort through. I think for some of you, you're still trying to just figure out what exactly you even feel here. The energy coming through to me, there's a lot of pain, but I think that this is something that you've kind of just pushed down. It's not something that you're dealing with right now. For some of you, you've actually physically left a relationship, meaning you've moved out of a home or a space that you share with someone. If you didn't actually move out or leave a home, you have actually left a connection. This is something that has left you really reeling. And when I say that it feels like you've pushed those emotions down, it's almost like I feel like you're going back and forth between this 10 of Swords and the 6 of Cups, which is very much, there are times when you actually do feel what you need to feel and you, like you start to process it, but it feels so heavy. It's almost like it's too heavy for you to process. And so then to disengage from it, you kind of go into this vibe, which is thinking about things in this very nostalgic, hopeful way, hoping for some sort of a reunion to come through, and then jumping into this Four of Wands, which is very much about like, no, I need to move on, I need to move out. This wasn't something that was stable. This isn't something that's going to ultimately pan out. This is not what I thought this would be. The most urgent need here for you is really just to figure out how to process this. And I'm hoping that this reading will be helpful in that, okay? So I'm going to stay here in the energy of this most urgent need and see what wants to come through just energetically beyond the meanings of the cards for you, okay? So I think the number one thing that is kind of coming to the forefront here is I don't sense a lot of confusion within you in terms of understanding that this is something that needed to close out, that this was something that ultimately needed to come to an end. Now, I say that, I'm staying here in this energy, but, you might have, I don't know if you can see this card or not, but the Ten of Swords came out of another deck here underneath the spiritual block, and we'll talk about that. But because that Ten of Swords has shown up twice here, I don't think that it's something that you can really deceive yourself into thinking that it's something that could have been prevented, or it's something that was a mistake or the wrong decision. So I feel energetically most of you are in a place where you've accepted this. What's getting in the way, though, and kind of coming through is this like really big need for you to process. It's totally normal to look back at any situation. Okay, there are relationships and connections that I've had with people that 85% of it was not good, guys. Like 85% of it was bad. But it's still, looking back on that connection with the person, that 15% was real, right? The 15% that was good or great or whatever, it was real. And so it's normal to still sometimes focus on that, to still sometimes put our efforts towards trying to just get out of the pain. But I think what's happening here is that you're confusing yourself. You're using those like good moments, and again, air quotes, right? You're using those good moments as an escape from processing the trauma. But what happens is when you're dealing with the trauma and then you push yourself into thinking about the good stuff, it just muddies the waters. It just makes things too confusing. Ultimately, I feel like you've made the decision to leave this. You've made the decision to walk away, move out, you almost have to erase the good stuff for now. It's bad. It's harmful for you to use it as escape. So if you're dealing with the pain, you're dealing with the trauma, it becomes too much, you can't deal with it. Just say to yourself, okay, that's enough for today. That's all that I can process today. That's all that I can work through today. I'm going to just let this be, and I'm going to do something else. Okay? So engage with your friends, watch a movie, listen to music, do something creative, put together a puzzle, go on a walk, go to the gym, make dinner. Do anything other than escaping into the good memories, because it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. The most urgent need here is really for you to let go of the good stuff. And it doesn't mean you let go of it for forever, or you completely write this relationship off as just horrible and no good and the person's all evil, because that's not true here. Like I said, even if it was only 10 or 15%, there were good things here. But you can't use those good things as a crutch to try to like soothe yourself from dealing with the pain. If the pain becomes too much, stop trying to deal with it. Stop trying to process it, but don't escape from it. You still have to acknowledge that it's going to be there waiting for you when you have time. But keep yourself occupied with other things that aren't just replaying the good stuff or trying to make this. It's not even like you're trying to. This is what's so confusing for me energetically. And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments about this, okay? Because this doesn't even feel like you're trying to be like, well, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Or you're not even trying to say like, there was more good there than there was bad. It's not that. You acknowledge there was more bad there than good. but it's like you don't know how to disengage from the processing of the trauma other than trying to like remember something good about the person. That could be very specific, but it doesn't feel like I'm talking about just one person. I really do feel like most people who are going to listen to this, they're going to understand what I'm talking about. And I do think it gives you like a little boost. It makes you feel a little bit better, but it sets you back in terms of the work that you have done to try to clear out this pain. You know, the Ten of Swords here both times showed up upright. And that's just kind of like the acknowledgement of the ending, of the pain, of what happened. But it is, you know, until that card reverses, it doesn't represent really moving on from it, right? Or moving into any sort of healing, okay? And so that's something that I think is a little bit concerning to me, because it feels like you make a little bit of progress and then you get lost in this fantasy world, and you're not even deliberately doing it to sabotage yourself. You're doing it just to give yourself a little bit of relief and to be able to detach from the trauma work. But it's the wrong approach. There are other healthier ways that you can detach from it, detach from that initial trauma. Okay. So I want to move here to the energy here, the spiritual blocks. And we have the Queen of Cups coming out, Ten of Swords again, and then you have the Eight of Wands. Now, this is very interesting to me in terms of a spiritual block, because with this Eight of Wands, this represents something that, really is wanting to happen quickly, where there's speed coming through. And so it's interesting for that card in particular to show up as a block, right? Now, energetically, what this feels like to me is the universe, your guides, your own angels, your higher self, really wanting to move you through this really quickly. They're wanting to clear, this is what your spirit guides want, right? This is awesome energy. Queen of Cups with the Eight of Wands. This is very much someone who is just like getting back to being balanced, getting back to feeling like they are in their emotions, in their feelings, not overwhelmed by them. This is someone who's really quickly healing from being able to lean in on the support of others, take care of themselves, love themselves, nurture themselves. This to me feels like coming to that spiritual understanding that even when we love someone, this is very important, even when we love someone who doesn't love us in either the way that we wish that they did, the way that we thought they would, hoped they would, needed them to, whatever the situation is, right? Even when we love someone like that, that is it's empowering in a way. What happens that makes that be bad is when you end up here, okay? So I think what's coming through in terms of a spiritual block is it's almost like you're having a hard time understanding that we can have empathy for people. We can love people who aren't able of returning that love to us in the way that we offer it to them, okay? So this is almost a situation where, let's say that you're very wealthy, right? You have a ton of money, and you have a friend or a family member who they lose their job and they're risking losing their house, and you have so much that you're able to just either cover their rent for a couple of months or pay their house off, depending on how wealthy you want to make yourself in this situation, right? But you do that thing not because you think that down the road that person is going to be able to return the favor, or that you would even need them to return the favor. You're kind of acknowledging, right? I'm doing this because I care about this person. I probably won't get this returned. I might not get the money back. I might not ever get this exact thing returned to me, but I care about this person, and this isn't going to cause me any harm doing this. I'm not risking my own house, my own stability, because I have more than what I need, right? So I can help this person. What happens in relationships sometimes is that we put all of this effort into someone, even though part of us knows it's not something they can do back. Okay? Sometimes the person tells us point blank they can't do it. We see all of these warning signs, all of these red flags, but we ignore them because we really want to care for this person. We want to love this person. We want to help this person. We get hurt, though, when they either don't change the way that we want them to, or we end up not ultimately helping them because they don't want help, or we allow our heart to become too involved in this beyond compassion, and we want to have something that's returned. We want to have, the things that we're doing, right, returned to us. And we create a situation where our motivations aren't aligned. It's like our needs and our motivations and the reality of the situation are at odds with each other. I think that's going to make sense to a lot of you, right? There's at least one person, because I felt this very strongly, like an aha moment, right? Where you realize that at the beginning of this connection with this person, you were honestly kind of like, oh no, I know exactly who this person is. I know this is not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to allow my feelings to get involved in this. Right? Like you were at the beginning, just very aware. And then in dealing with this person, engaging with this person, it's almost like you couldn't help yourself. You just got your feelings and your heart involved in it, even though you knew better. The block here, from a spiritual perspective, that's preventing you from really being able to move on from this, is that you're just not allowing yourself to settle into being healed. Guys, the universe can do some pretty amazing things if we allow it to. And it can do a ton in terms of healing, allowing us to move on from something, allowing us to feel like we're getting better daily, like we're being healed daily. And that process can become very fast, very swift. Your life can be radically different. Sometimes I joke, like you can make your life really different in 24 hours. There's a lot you can be on the other side of the world in 24 hours if you really have the motivation to do it. Okay? So if you're really motivated, if you're able to really make your life seem radically different, might not be stable, it might not be like something you're able to deal with, you might not have a real understanding of what your next move is, right? But if you as a human can make your life seem radically different in 24 hours, the universe, who has only the best, right? It's holding only the best for you. It's wanting to give you everything that you want, everything that you need. It's trying its best to heal you and make you feel safe. And it has access to all of this knowledge and all of these, varying connecting points and places where you might meet different people or have opportunities presented to you. It sees all of that. It sees stuff we can't see. The universe is able to do really crazy things if you allow it. You're not allowing yourself to be healed here. And I think part of that might be from this, right? This is very tricky, this Six of Cups, because this doesn't feel to me like a reunion. This doesn't feel like someone coming back from the past. This just feels like looking back at the past in this very kind of like warm and fuzzy way. Okay? Because I have to tell you, I honestly feel like even if this person did come back, okay, to be clear about who's still listening to me 17 minutes, whatever, into this, even if this person did come back, I feel like you would know better than to try again, because it feels like this is something that was tried and tried and tried and tried and tried, right? Back and forth, on again, off again. But it's like if you keep going into this space, it's almost in a way a denial of your healing. Because you're saying, like, I want to deal with this pain, I want to clear it, but it's too much. And so the universe wants to come in and be like, it's too much. Let's do this work really fast and get rid of this, right? Let's clear that pain. Let's get rid of it. I'm just going to rearrange those cards a little bit. There's something here, though, that's blocking you from just healing. And I think it is that tendency to kind of slide back into the good memories as like a means of escape. Here's what I want to do for this spiritual block. I have my oracle deck here. I'm going to shuffle. Do 2 shuffles, and then I'll just blind pick a card just to see what wants to come out in terms of that spiritual block as insight for you. So this says, I recognize that I have chosen fear. I choose again. I choose love. The universe wants to just move you through this. The universe really does want to heal you. You just have to open yourself up to it and not be scared. If you have a fear that healing this, I guess here's what I'll say. If you have a fear attached to healing this, ask yourself, what is that fear? Why would you be scared to heal? Does it mean that you do have to let go of this, right? Does it mean that you do have to come to the realization that even in those good moments, those things that to you you've labeled as good moments, that maybe that other person was manipulating you? Maybe it wasn't a good moment. Maybe it was just something that they did that they knew you wanted. Something they said that they knew if you heard it, you would forget about something else or forgive them for something else. Like, is that the fear that's kind of keeping you from fully healing? That you'll have to let go of this? And that feels like it resonates energetically, right? But ask yourself this, is that stuff, the good memories, the good times, right? Is that worth staying here? Right? Do those good memories really truly outweigh the bad? Or do you just need to, maybe be willing to let go of those things? Maybe let go of the hope of it ultimately working out or that person changing. Like, I think that is the fear that's the fear coming up for me here, right? It's if I truly allow myself to heal, then I'm probably not going to be interested in this person anymore. And if I'm not interested in this person anymore, then I'm going to have to deal with the fact that I spent however long focused on this person, trying to make it work with this person. I think that's what's going on there. Okay? So let's take a look here at the emotional blocks. King of Pentacles, the Moon, and then the Star card reversed are the cards that came up here. Now, the Star card, more so than anything else, jumps out at me with the most energy. We're looking at Scorpio, we're looking at emotions, we're looking at blocks and emotions. Scorpios are like the last sign that should ever have a block in their emotions, okay? Because the intensity of a Scorpio's emotions won't allow a block to be there for very long before they just kind of kick the door down and come in, right? So this Star card is it's very interesting because it feels almost like here's how I want to talk about this card meaning when it's upright. Now, your Star card was reversed, okay? But I want to paint you a picture. If this card is upright, it's such a great card. Okay, it's being so hopeful, believing that things are going to work out, having faith, just really feeling clear internally about something. It's almost like a card of miracles when it's upright. And when it's reversed, it's like the opposite of all of that, right? It's not feeling very secure that things are going to be okay. It's feeling very much like you don't have faith in a person or a situation. you don't, for some reason, Scorpio, really want to allow yourself to feel that emotionally. Again, it's very interesting because this would have to have been a very, very traumatic relationship to have you this uneasy and this uncomfortable with your own emotions and your own feelings. I think part of this, Scorpio, might kind of be just you. It's like your ego got bruised here. This person was able to lie to you and get away with it. This person was able to treat you badly and get away with it. This person was able to do things and not apologize and get away with it. And it's left you really confused about why you put up with it, why you accepted it, why you actually were willing to go through the things that you did with this person. This moon card, I mean, I'm kind of already talking about it, but this moon card is really asking you, thinking, going over here, like unseen stuff, okay? What were you blind to in this relationship? What this feels like to me is in the moment, Scorpio, in the moment when you were in it and the whatever it was actually happening, okay? What did you know then in that moment? What were your thoughts in that moment? You have to acknowledge what you knew when you knew it, right? Now at the end of it, yeah, you look back and you're like, that was so stupid. Why did you believe that? Or why did you let them do that? And then why was this your response, right? It's very like judgmental, okay? But so much of that wasn't known to you then. And so your emotions being different then than they are now in regards to this person, you can't judge yourself for that. You have to almost have an understanding of it's like hindsight's 2020. When you're out of a situation and you're detached from it, you're not actually engaging in that situation, your mind is more clear, your emotions aren't as heightened, you're not dealing with another person whose energy is being thrown into the mix as well. I think ultimately you kind of have to get yourself to a place where you stop judging yourself. You're like your past self. I'm feeling a lot of hostility coming through, and it feels directed internally. But I feel like you're almost like not realizing that you are directing that hostility internally, because it's like you're hostile towards your past self. Okay, but here's what's really important. I just felt such a wave of emotion. So, apologies for what I'm about to say. Okay, but the version of you that was like literally on your knees begging someone not to go, even though that version of you knew this person like didn't care, okay? That version of you is in the past, yes, but that version of you is also still inside you, because that version of you contributed to who you are right now listening to me. And so when you have hostility towards that version of you, by default, it's directed inward, right? It's a part of you. That person's a part of you. And so you have to be kind to that person, right? Like you have to be kind. And that allows you to start to trust yourself again, to really feel like you can trust yourself, you can depend on yourself, that you are that you have wisdom to depend on. Okay, so we're going to look at mental blocks here. Now this is interesting. There's not as much energy with this, so I feel like mentally there isn't as much getting in your way. Page of Pentacles coming out reversed here. This is honestly, out of the cards, this is the card that feels like it has the most energy attached to it. It's reversed. I just feel like in a way it's just more of that avoiding, like this is very much like avoiding dealing with pain. Avoiding really pushing yourself on healing. Okay? That's what this energy feels like to me. Like mentally you're just not there. You're not wanting to push yourself, and we've talked about that already, right? You have a threshold of what you're able to deal with, what you're able to, put an effort with. Stop escaping. Find another way of dealing with it, right? But mentally, I feel like if you're still listening to me mentally, you know it's going to be okay, right? You have the Nine of Pentacles here, and this is a very good card. Ultimately, you know it's all going to be fine, right? You've kind of just accepted. So let me clarify this, okay? You have accepted in your mind that, you know what, this is just going to take a long time to get over. It's going to take a long time to heal, and I'm fine with that. It doesn't have to, though. It really doesn't have to. But you've kind of created that as being like, these are the parameters through which this makes sense to me, and it makes sense that it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of time to heal. But in a way, you're keeping yourself in that pain because the universe wants to clear this out for you pretty quickly, to be honest with you. Mentally, I think once you clear your heart and you get the emotions processed, you allow yourself to process through the emotions. The mental part of it, there really aren't blocks there. Okay? And that's good. That's good to me because I think, if you can embrace the support of the universe, it helps you to clear out these emotions, and then it just goes quick. Okay? What are some things here that might be getting in the way? Now, it's very interesting. You have the Nine of Coins there. Okay? You know it's going to be okay. Well, the Nine of Coins here, coming out reversed. Okay? So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about this. I do think ultimately you're going to be fine. I do think ultimately you're going to be, a good thing about Scorpio, like rising from the ashes, right? You'll embody that phoenix rising energy. But there might be some things in the way, like just in the way to be aware of. There might be some financial difficulties, or you might need to put in effort now to avoid having some financial stress that's coming through. And it does feel like just a random thing coming through for the people who are still hanging out in terms of like finances. Be mindful of your spending. Don't use spending as therapy, or don't use spending as a way of trying to make yourself feel better. Okay? Because if you do too much of that, or if you are doing too much of that, you can be getting in the way. You might be adding some mental worry and stress that you don't need to. Okay? Now these two cards feel almost like they're connected. So we have the Four of Cups and then this Hanged Man. They're both upright. I think one thing that you might not be fully aware of yet, that's coming through here, is that this connection was meant to kind of push you in a way to evolve, to push you to I think it just feels like it was designed to remind you of your worth. It was designed to remind you of how you deserve to be treated. I think ultimately when you come out of the healing part of this, like in an odd way, this relationship will be special. Not because you end up with this person again, not because, something changes, but you'll just look at this connection and be like, that was the turning point. that connection with that person, that was where everything just started to just become different. That was the person who made me take this path that was just the path I was supposed to go down. And it'll be a situation where you're like you're profoundly impacted by this relationship, by this person. And it'll lead to you really trying to think differently spiritually about who this person was, what their purpose was in your life, why they showed up, why you manifested them, why you pulled them to you, why you needed them, why you needed this experience, this relationship to be the thing that put you onto the right path, right? It will start to make sense to you why it had to happen this way. It'll make sense. Okay. Now, if you are going to hang out with me for the extended reading that goes along with this, then what we're going to look at is actually, I'm going to open up the extended reading to communication of messages from your spirit guides, your ancestors, and your higher self related to this, related to what's come out here. And so I'm really excited to explore that and see what comes through for those of you who are going to watch that. If you're not going to watch the extended reading, then, I think lots was communicated here for you. If you would like to connect with me one-on-one about any of this for a personal reading, then you can send me an email, keegantarot@gmail.com. That's the easiest way to book a personal reading with me. And yeah, I'm really interested in exploring what wants to come through for you in terms of communication from some higher dimension advice and guidance. So if you're going to join me for that, the link to the extended reading is in the box below. If not, I'll see you in a couple of weeks with your mid-February check-in reading. Bye. Hey guys, I'm jumping in here at the end of the reading just to let you know that I have joined TikTok. And so if you're interested in following me there, you can find me at Keegan Kirk. And I would love to see you. If you are going to follow me and you're someone who's subscribed to YouTube, or you found me through YouTube, then take a moment just to leave a comment on any of the videos that I've posted on TikTok and say I'm coming from YouTube, just so I know that you're there and I can say hello.